Hi everyone, welcome back again. Today we are going to look at how we can create alignment inside our Civil 3D. Now, when I talk about alignment, they are kind of the backbone that we use to create corridors for our roadways when we are making roadway designs. Now, with the alignment, they don't necessarily have to pass through the center line of our road in case we went through a site to pick the data and it's a road. The alignment that you create in Civil 3D doesn't necessarily have to pass through the center line of the road. It can pass through anywhere. So far as that section is your proposed roadway, it can pass through that side. But then alignment is what we use to build our roadways or railway lines inside the Civil 3D designs that we make. Now, to create an alignment, we'll go to the Home tab. Now, in the Home tab, under the Create Design panel, we are going to locate alignment over here. And now from the drop down, we have a whole list of options that helps us to be able to create an alignment. You can create an alignment from objects, you can create an alignment from a network part, you can create an alignment from our corridor, create an alignment even from an existing alignment. And then the option that we're going to look at is what alignment creation tools. Now from the alignment creation tools pop-up, we are going to choose a name for our alignment, and then we can leave it as urban road. Now the alignment that we are setting is the center line of what our road. So the center line is what you're going to leave it at. Now the description, we can leave some small comments about the work that we are doing. And now from here, we can come to the design criteria side and set the design speed, and then follow the design criteria according to the ASHTO 2011 metric, whichever design standard that is guiding your design or the creation of your alignment. Now, to enable this, you can actually check the use design criteria base, and then you can change the design speed and also make any necessary changes that you want to do over here. But we are not going to do this alignment based on a design criteria. So we go back to general, and then the site section, we are going to leave it at none. The alignment style, will leave it by default. The alignment label set style, will also leave it by default. Yours might not be looking exactly like how my alignment style and then the label set is looking, because this is a design template that I am using. But then whatever yours is showing, you leave it as default and then you click on OK. So now what we have here is a toolbar for our alignment creation tool that helps us to be able to create our alignment. Now with the creation of our alignment, there are actually three ways that we are going to look at. We are going to look at creating alignment using tangent without curves, and then tangent involving curves, and then also we create alignment from objects. So now from the first one, which is tangent with no curves, from the alignment layout toolbar, head on to the first one. The drop down, we have tangent no curves. So we select the tangent no curves, and now the software is saying we should specify a starting point of our alignment. That is where you want your alignment to begin. So depending on the direction that you want your alignment to begin, that is where you are going to start to draw your alignment. So I'm going to move along, specify my first point here, and then move along to create my alignment. So you would see that my alignment is being created over here. So this is going to be my last point. When I specify my last point, I just right click, and then my alignment is being created over here. And as you can see, it's only tangent without any curves inside our alignment that we have just created. So here, which is the 0 0, the changes along our alignment is 0 0 out to a change of what, 506. That is the length of our alignment, 506 meters. And then we have our start of the alignment, and then our end of what, our alignment. Now when you have it like this, you can actually go ahead and make further analysis depending on what you want to do. So now from the analysis toolbar, you can go ahead and insert other PVI. So from here it says insert PI. So when you click on this one and then you specify the point where you want to insert your PI. So if I want to insert it here, I'll specify a point near here, and then I'll specify my PI over here. So here too, I'm going to do the same thing. Can specify another PI also over here, and then you will see the PI being created. Since this is looking crooked, I'll just have to delete the PIs that I just created. So I'll delete this PI, I'll delete this PI, and then I'll go back to how it was looking before. And now from this one also, we can also continue the line. You can draw a fixed line also from here. You select this one, fixed line between points. And then we can, from where our alignment ended, we can again continue to wherever you want to continue. And then we click on what? The ending of that particular line, and then to wherever you want to leave our alignment to. You right click and then you see our alignment being continued to that particular section. Now mind you, should in case this is the direction of your alignment, the alignment start from this side and then moves all the way to this side. So if you want to join another line to your alignment and then you start from this side and then joins it to this particular area, this particular end of your alignment, something has happened over here. You see that the alignment stops at this side but doesn't continue over here because the direction at which this line is coming is different from the direction at which you have established your alignment. Now to correct this error, you back to the alignment creation tools toolbar. You select this tool, which is reverse sub entity, to reverse the direction of the line that you created to relate with the alignment that you have created. So you select this fixed line, and once you select the fixed line, you right click and then now you see that the line has been reversed, and now our alignment continues all the way from this edge to end to this particular section. Now there is another tool that you can also use, this one, which is delete sub entity. We select this one to delete sub entities from the alignment, the lines that we don't need. We click on OK, and now our alignment is as it is that we have over here. Now the next one is the tangent with curves. So from alignment layout tools, the drop down, we select tangent with curves. But then because these are curves, you would have to specify the radius that you're going to use for the curve. And so you go to curve and spiral settings, and now from this section you select curve and then you define the radius that you want to use for your curve. Now, though even if you don't specify the radius over here, you could as well make adjustments or modifications whenever your curve is being created. So you click on OK, and then we go back to the alignment toolbar, and then we select tangent with curves. Just as we did for the first one, you will start over here, and then we describe our alignment, and then you see as I make a turn from my straight line, you see curve now is being created. So where I want to position my next point, I put it there, and then I go the way again here, and then I'll right click or press on escape, and then my alignment would be created. Now there is something is happening over here. You see the first one that we created has the alignment being formed completely, which has the changes along the proposed route for our alignment, but this one is not having any changes beside it. It's not giving us any information. This is because this one that we just created is being recognized as part of the urban road alignment that we just created. So if I should select this one, you will see that the first alignment that we just created is also being created. So to be able to get this one to have its own changes, this one has to be a stand alone from this first one that we just created. So go to this delete sub entity to delete the alignment we just created, and then go back to the alignment creation tools dialog and create a different alignment for this section 2. We leave everything as it is, and then we click on OK. And now you see that our alignment toolbar would be updated as alignment layout tools urban road 2. That is the one that we just created. So we go back to the first two and then select tangent with curves, and then from here you can create our alignment with what, with curves. And once I end it, you will see that my changes is being hot created, and this one is going to act as a separate alignment from this first one that we just created. And then we can, from the alignment layout tools, we can also fish out some information about the alignment that we just created, about the length of this line, the radius of the curves inside the alignment that you have created. Now from the layout toolbar, from this session, this is the sub entity editor, and then the green one with the pencil is the alignment grid view. So the alignment grid view gives us information or data about the parameters of the lines and then the curve that we used. So one, if I should select this first line, you see that that particular line is being highlighted in our working window over here, and then that line, the length of that line is 90.5 meters. And then the next one is the curve. You could see that the radius of the curve is 77.16. You can also make changes to the radius of that particular curve. You click inside this one, and then we can change the radius of the curve to, let's say, 100. And then pay close attention. When I press enter, pay close attention to what happened to this one. When I press enter, you see that our alignment, the radius is being affected immediately as we hit enter, and then we can make changes to the radius of the second curve as well and make it 100 also, and then that one also be created, and then the changes will be effected. And then we have our alignment with what, with curves being created. And so the last one from this is what most of the times I love to use, because it gives you the room, the flexibility to be able to inculcate the design parameters and everything. Though this tools, the tangent with curve, the tangent without curves, they all works fine, and you can make further modifications to it. But the one I prefer to use most of the time is to create an alignment from object, because from that one I'll be able to first specify my design route, and then once I specify my design route, I'll be able to create an alignment from them. So I'm going to first specify the route that I want my design to take, my design to pass here, and then pass here, and then go this side. So once I have this to be my proposed route, I'll go back to alignment, and then from here I'll select create alignment from object. So I'll select my line. Once I select my line, I press on enter. So once I press on enter, it gives me the prompt to be able to check the direction of my alignment, whether it is as it is being described, or we are going to reverse it if you don't like it. So as we are looking at it right now, our alignment is from the top here all the way to the down here, but we don't want it that way. We want the alignment to start from the bottom all the way to the top. So what you're going to do is you're going to select the reverse alignment to reverse the element, and you can see from here that our arrow is now being reversed. So once that is that, our alignment pop-up would come, then we give it a name for our alignment, and then we can leave everything as it is. Now from the down here, we can either add curves by default or specify after we have clicked OK. But then we don't want to add curves, we want to add the curves ourselves. So we uncheck this one, but then you can also specify the radius of the curve that you want to add, and then it will automatically be added to your alignment route. And then we uncheck this one, and then we leave this one, erase existing entities, and then we click on OK, and then you see our alignment is now being created with the alignment starting from the bottom here all the way to the top over here, and then we have our changes beside it. Then we can go ahead and make further edits to this alignment that we just created. To do that, you select the alignment, and then you see from the modify panel, we choose geometry editor, and then our toolbar will pop up. Now once you have our toolbar like this, I want to insert or create curves along this tangent, because my alignment or roadway cannot look like this. It would cause several accidents. So to add curves inside it, I'll come to this section which is called the add face curve, and then I'll select the one that best fits, and I'm going to use the free curve fillet between two entities and then a radius. I'll select that one, and then I'm going to select my first entity and then my second entity where I want to create my radius. My first entity is this one because my alignment starts from this side and goes all the way up. So this is going to be my first entity, and then I'll select my next entity, which is going to be this one. Now they are asking me for a solution angle as to whether the angle that my curve is being created is greater than 180 or less than 180. And most in cases greater than 180 is when is the angle that most of the time you find on interchanges. Yes, so we are going to select less than 180, and then we are going to specify the radius of the curve that we want to set. We are going to say 150. Press and enter, and now our curve is being described over here. And we are going to do the same thing to the second tangent that we have at the top. We select this one to be our first entity, select this one to be our second entity, select less than 180, and specify the radius of the curve that we want to use. And once we are done, you will see that our curve is now being added to our alignment. And that is how we create an alignment with curves, without curves, and also create alignment from our object. So back to our main work, we are going to create an alignment on this surface. So I'm going to specify the route I want my alignment to take. I'm going to create my alignment from here, go all the way through here, and then I'm going to end my road over here. So from this, I head on to the alignment, go to create alignment from object. I'm going to specify my route, press enter, and I'm going to reverse the direction of my roadway. I'm going to give it a new name as regional road. Leave the type as center line. The site, leave everything as default, uncheck the curves, and then I'll click on OK to introduce the alignment to my roadway. Now once I have the alignment, I head on to create a curve inside alignment where we have the two tangent meeting. Go ahead, select between two entities. This is going to be my first entity, this will be my second entity, less than 180. Then I'm going to specify a radius of 90 meters for my alignment. Press enter, and now my curve is being introduced into my roadway. And so now we have our alignment being created for our specific route, and that is how we create an alignment inside Civil 3D.